Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to answer the questions from over last week, the adding and subtracting fractions and the multiplying, dividing fractions. That way you can check your answers and be able to study for this last test coming this week. There is no more assignments this week. You just need to comment underneath these videos that you watched for attendance. And then the test will be, I'm going to hopefully post it by Wednesday. That way you guys will have a couple days to do that. Okay, so I will also, so just stay with me. This will be a kind of a longer video but I'll try to keep it short as possible. I'll answer these questions, and then I'm going to answer the questions to the Unit 2 and Unit 3 tests, because those all have to be turned in by last night. So I'm going to do the Unit 2 and Unit 3 test answers. You can check those, so if you need to pause and go get those so that you can check those. I know some just are curious which ones they missed, so that way you can do that on this video. All right, so let me do the assignment ones first from last week. So number 1 was 2/3 minus a half. Okay, so you have to get the same denominators. The smallest denominator that both of these will go into is 6. Okay, so you doubled this, you got to double that. Okay, meaning you multiplied this by 2, so you got to multiply that by 2. And this one you multiplied by 3, so you got to multiply the top by 3. And then you just subtract. Okay, so you get the least common denominator, and then change your fractions, expand them the way they should, and go from there. Same thing, 5/7 plus 1/14. So the smallest denominator that both these go into is 14. So let's work with this one first so you can see what I'm doing. I multiplied this times 2 to get 14, so I can multiply that by 2. This one, I did not change the bottom, so I'm not going to change the top. And then I add across, so 11/14. Okay, neither one of these can be reduced, so we're done with those. Number 3 was 5/12 minus 1/6. Least common denominator is 12. This one stayed the same. This one doubled, so double the top. And you get 3/12. Now, 3/12 can be reduced. You can divide them both by 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1. 12 divided by 3 is 4. Okay, so 1/4. 5/8 plus 3/4. Okay, so the smallest denominator, least common denominator, is 8. This one didn't change. This one doubled, so double the top. You add those, and now we have an improper fraction. Okay, to make this a proper, okay, so 11/8 is what you should be at right now after you do your addition. So the process that I do now, I don't always write it out, but just so you see what I'm doing, this is always, remember the fraction sign is just a division sign, 11 divided by 8, so I wrote that out, 11 divided by 8. 8 goes into 11 one time without going over. Okay, so the whole number is 1. Okay, you have a remainder of 3, and you put that back over 8. 1 3/8. Now, if you do that in your head, you can do that. 8 goes into 11 one time with a remainder of 3 back over the 8. 1 3/8. Okay. Number 5 is 2/3 plus 7/9. So 9 is my smallest or least common denominator. Oh, I keep using the word smallest. It's a mental block in May. So this one tripled, so you got to triple that. Meaning I times 3, so we'll multiply that times 3. And this one didn't change. So we get another improper fraction. Okay, 9 goes into 13 one whole time with a remainder of 4 back over the 9. All right, then the multiplying fractions. So that was the next day. So 2/3 times 1/3. So multiply the tops, 2. Now what I noticed some of you guys did, you added this, you got 6. No, you multiply. So it's 2 times 1 is 2, 3 times 3 is 9. And that does not reduce. So I did see some people put 6. Make sure you're multiplying that. 5/6 times 3/4. So the top is 15. The bottom is 24. 5 times 3, 6 times 4. This does reduce down by 3. These can be divided by 3. 15 divided by 3. 24 divided by 3. You get 5/8. Let's do 6 times 1/2. So I'm going to make that a fraction. 6 times 1/2. 6 times the top. 2 times the bottom. 6 divided by 2 is 3. So that's how you turn. Remember, if it goes in evenly, it becomes a whole number. 6 divided by 2 is 3. And then we got 2/3 times 6. So make that a fraction again. 2 times 6 is 12. 3 times 1. 12 divided by 3 is 4. Then we get into the division one. So we got 1/2 divided by 1/2. Okay. So we do our keep, change, flip. Keep, change, flip. Okay. So some of you guys got that right. Make sure you keep, you change, you flip. And then this is 2. 1 times 2 is 2. 2 times 1 is 2. Now, some people put this as 2. The answer is 2, but remember, 2 divided by 2 is 1. Anything over itself is 1. So some of you got to hear, but maybe missed this part. Just remember, 2 divided by 2 is 1. 5/6 divided by 3/4. So it's going to be keep, change, flip. And so now we get 20. Whoops. Kind of at the bottom of the page, it's hard to. So 5 times 4 is 20. 6 times 3 is 18. Okay, we're going to turn this into a mixed number. 18 goes into 20 one whole time with a remainder of 2. Back over 18. It is hard to write. There we go. So 1 and 2 18ths. And then this reduces. You can reduce this fraction still. They both are even, so you can divide them both by 2. So this becomes 1. This doesn't reduce. That's a whole number. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 18 divided by 2 is 9. So 1 and 1/9. Okay, let's flip this paper over so we don't have it sliding anymore. Okay, so number 7 was 8 divided by 2/3. Okay, so this one's keep, but we're going to make it a fraction. Keep, change, flip. So just flip that one. So 8 times 3 is 24. 2 times 1 is 2. 24 divided by 2 is 12. And then the last one was 5/6 divided by 4. Okay. Now remember, 4 is 4 over 1. Okay. So this becomes keep, change, flip. Now it's 1/4. Multiply the tops, you get 5. Multiply the bottoms, you get 24. 5/24. So check those. I know, don't get discouraged. Like, you take this one here, there's going to be partial credit. I mean, first you want to make sure you do your keep, change, flip right. Then you want to make sure you do your math right. Then you got to turn it into a mixed number. And then you still got to reduce to 1 and 1/9. So, there's several things there I'm checking for. If maybe you got this part right and then flipped it wrong or mixed number wrong, just check where you made mistakes and keep practicing those. Okay. What I want to do now is answer the Unit 2 test first. Okay, so I'll answer those first. And then we'll do the Unit 3. Okay, so this one's 8 times 3 is 24. 8 times 6 is 48 plus 2 is 5. Or 50, sorry, 504. This one is 9 times 5 is 45. 9 times 7 is 63 plus that is 67. 7 times 8 is 56. 7 times 4 is 28 plus 5 is 33. 7 times 3 is 21 plus 3 is 24. So 2,436. Okay, this one is 4 times 0, 4 times 7. Okay, this one is 3 times 0, 3 times 0, 3 times 16. This one's 8 times 0, 8 times 0, 8 times 5. Okay, this one's two rows here. 4 times 3 is 12. 4 times 8 is 32, plus that is 33. Carry the 0. 3 times 1 is 21. And 7 times 8 is 56, plus that is 58. Add them up. Okay, same thing. 3, 9. Start your next row. 6, 18. All right, another 2 rows. 24. 20 plus 2. 32 plus 2. Okay. Start your 0. 7 times 6, 42. 35 plus 4 is 39. 56 plus 3 is 59. Okay, add them together. 44. Okay, number 10. Okay, 0 and then 40. Start your 0 and then another 0. See, I started my row, then I went 3 times 0, then 3 times 8. Add them together. 2,800. Okay, here I'm going to start my 0. Then do 4 times 0, 4 times 7. And then 4 times 8 plus 2 is 34. 34,800. This one, start your 0. 9 times 0, 9 times 0, 9 times 2, 18,000. All right, the 3-digit ones. I did these earlier, so you can look at them. So first row should look like that. 15, carry the 1. 21 plus 1 is 22. Carry the 2. 3 times 8 is 24, plus 2 is 26. Second row should look here. Okay, third row should look here. Then you add them up. Let's take a look at that one. Same thing with this one. First row, second row, third row. Add them up. 15, so you put 2 zeros to do the shortcut, and then 8 times 0, 8 times 0, 8 times 0, and then 8 times 7. Okay. Number 16. Let's find the area of the square. So it's 4 times 4. Remember, this is a square, so all the sides are the same. And you do 4 times 4, which is 16. And then this one was 6 times 15, which is 90. Okay. So that one should have been 90. Okay. So that's your multiplication unit 2 test. All right, let's look at unit 3 test, which was division. And check those answers. Okay, so here we got division. So that was 6 into, these were the ones with no remainder, so they should come out even. 6 doesn't go into 2, but it goes into 21 3 times. Bring down the 6. 6 goes into 36 6 times. Even. Okay. So 36 was that answer. Okay. I'm going to have to rewrite these because I'm going to run out of space. 2 is 2 into 14,546 or 564. I'll get it here in a second. Okay, so 2 doesn't go into 1, but it goes into 14 7 times. Okay, just because you have 0 doesn't mean you're done. You're not at the end here yet. Bring down the 5. 2 goes into 5 twice. Bring down the 6. 2 goes into there 8 times. Still not done. I need to bring down the 4. and 2 goes into 4 twice. Now that you are at the end of the problem and you got a number above every number or something above every number, and it comes out evenly, that's your answer, 7,282. Okay. 835. 5 goes into 8 one time. Goes into 33 6 times. And goes into 35 7 times. 167. 12 into 420. 12 goes into 42 3 times without going over. Bring down the 0 and goes into 65 times evenly. So that answer was 35. Okay. And then the remainders, so let me do, this one is, then you had them with fraction remainders. So 8 into 2978. Okay, so 8 goes into 29 3 times without going over. Goes into 57 7 times without going over. Bring down your 8. You're still not at the end yet. It goes into 18 twice without going over. Okay, then what you do with that is you put it back over the divider. Now 2/8 is what that was. If some of you did reduce it down to 1/4, and that's okay. So, you know, either one of those same answers. What you can't do is put 0.2 or have this wrong here, or, you know. So 2/8 would have been that fraction. So just let me give you those answers because we're running out of time. But number 6 came out to 990. And let me do that one actually, because I did notice that some missed a little thing here that you got to do. Make sure you do. Okay, so it doesn't go into 1, but it goes into 19 9 times. And down the 8 goes into there 9 times. Okay, now remember, we're not done yet. We're not to the end here. We got to put something above the 1. So we got to keep dividing, and so we bring down this 1. Now, what some of you did is you started your, you didn't put anything above the 1, and you started your fraction. Remember, you've got to say 2 does not go into 1. There needs to be a whole number above this 1. So 2 does not go into 1. That's where you need a 0. Okay, and then now that's your remainder. Now you put the 1/2. Okay, so I noticed some of you guys were not putting the 0. We did a few like that, so don't forget that. There's got to be a whole number above every number. That's why we put the X here and then start. You could put a 0 there, and it's the same thing. So that's what we did here. But you know, it's just, you know, X, then 9, 9, 0, and then 1/2. Okay, number 7 was 79 or 796 and 9/11. Number 8 was 978 and 2/5. Okay, now let me do one of the decimal ones. So that was like, because it was decimal remainder, so specified that you put a decimal remainder. So 1795. Okay, so this one was 2 doesn't go into 1, but it goes in 17 8 times. Bring down the 9, it goes into 19 9 times. Okay, 7 times. And now we're at the end, but you're not just going to put 0.1. You're going to put a 0, and 2 goes into 10 5 times. So that's where you get 897.5. Okay, so number 10 was 685.875. Number 11 was 1,685.5. And number 12 ended up being 91.5. Okay? So those are your answers for the Unit 3 test. And check those. And then, like I said, just make a comment. Please comment below for attendance today. And then I'll have your study guide up as well on a photo attachment. Okay, I'll answer the study guides tomorrow, so that watch for that video. And then, like I said, my goal is to post the test on Wednesday. All right? Thanks, guys.